Coming up on News Live at 6, Syracuse Abroad Week began yesterday. We'll have the rundown on all that's happened and what's still to come.
Plus, a bill heading to Governor Kathy Hochul's desk could mean new requirements for gun shops in New York State.
And the latest on pagers exploding in Lebanon and Syria. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Syracuse Abroad Week is underway right here on campus. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Lauren Holdmeyer.
And I'm Kaitlin Campbell. Syracuse Abroad Week has begun. It offers a chance for students to learn more about the abroad process and experience. Our reporter Jude Bazerman is in studio to tell us more about what students can expect.
Well, thanks, Lauren and Kaitlin. And today was a busy day for the Syracuse Abroad office with 5 different events, ranging from financial aid to the requirements needed to study abroad as a student in specific colleges and programs. And now I might be a little biased because I'm spending the spring semester in London, but don't just take it from me. Studying abroad is a fantastic opportunity, and SU has one of the best programs in the entire country.
I was on the fence about it when I first did it. I basically sent the application out because a bunch of my friends did. But what I'd recommend is just pick any of the places you want to go to, send an application off. If you get in, it's absolutely worth it.
Patrick is far from the only Syracuse student who took part in the university's abroad program. Nearly half of Syracuse students will study abroad at some point at one of the 50 or more partner programs. And according to U.S. News, SU boasts one of the top 10 study abroad programs in the country.
And then all of the living arrangements and flexibility with your schedules, everything they do makes it feel exactly like as you had a semester here, but you're across, and it's a 5-hour time difference.
And don't worry if you missed out on the abroad events from yesterday or today. Tomorrow from 11 to 3, advisors and alumni will be on the Shaw Quad to share information and answer any questions you might have. And more major and school-related events will be happening Thursday and Friday. And more information can be found on their website, suabroad.syr.edu. Lauren, Kaitlin, back to you.
Thank you so much, Jude. This morning, Hines Hall was evacuated due to a small roof fire, according to DPS. Fire and Life Safety Services and the Syracuse Fire Department responded to the scene to assess the damages. The building was reopened around noon. DPS has yet to commit on the source of the roof fire.
Today is National Voter Registration Day, and the deadline to vote in New York is rapidly approaching. New York residents 18 years and older have until October 26 to register to vote in the general election. The upcoming general election includes the next presidential candidate as well as Senate and congressional races. And more residents can vote online, in person, or by mail. If you are unsure if you are registered, you can check your registration through the New York State Board of Election website seen on your screen below.
SU Dining is expanding its allergy-free options to include gluten sensitivities. These new options are a part of the new Peer Ambassador program that will allow students to help each other navigate safe food options on and off campus. The Assistant Director of Nutrition Management has established new gluten-free food made to order at all 6 dining halls on campus to improve the taste and quality of allergy-free options.
Well, 4 Syracuse University students have been selected as this year's Rosker Dissertation Fund Fellows. These graduate students are engaging in research to support the local veteran and military community. The Forever Orange campaign is providing more than $40,000 to this 4 students' research. The campaign is named after Luis and Bernard Rosker. Bernard, who is a U.S. Army veteran, and Luis, who is a supporter of education for military children and expanding employment opportunities for military spouses.
The recipients are Mariah Brennan, Rachel Lisner, Paul Sajow, and Kyle White. They are now joining a cohort of other Rosker Fellows who have collectively received over $90,000 in funding for military-connected research. Applications are now open for the next round of funding and will close at the end of the month. And police say the mother who abandoned her baby nearly 30... And we're going to go ahead and take a look at our weather for now. Tyler is live outside. You know, it was a pretty warm day. And I think those warm temperatures are supposed to continue throughout the rest of the week, so.
Yeah, I hope so. Tyler, will those warm temperatures stay?
Hey guys, I'm out here on the outside on the quad right now. I'm not on the weather deck this time. I was able to borrow somebody's hammock because I wanted to work from home today. I'm from Florida, so the weather like this is like my home. It's 79 degrees outside. lovely sunshine with a little bit of cloud cover. You're going to see that cloud cover throughout the rest of the week, and we'll talk about that in our 5-day forecast coming up later in the show tonight, But around the Syracuse area, we're seeing roughly the same weather. 79 degrees in those 70s ranges with some cloud cover. Nothing too bad. We're still in that bright and sunny section of our weather here in Syracuse. It hasn't gotten too cold yet. It's going to happen a bit later in the month. Tonight, though, the temperatures are going to dip a little bit. 63 degrees. Getting a little bit cool. The humidity is going to rise as well with a little bit of winds. That cloud cover is going to stay too, so won't really be seeing much of it because it's night. You're not going to see many clouds because it's night, but I'm going to stay out here right now for a little while longer and enjoy the beautiful sunshine. I think you guys should too once this show ends. So, guys, I'm going to swing it right back on to you.
Thank you, Tyler. Glad to see you're enjoying that sunshine. Well, police say the mother who abandoned her baby nearly 30 years ago is finally in custody. Carrie was arrested over the weekend for the murder of a newborn baby found in Albany's Washington Park in 1997. The baby was adopted by the city after he was found dead and named Moses since he was found near the park's statue of Moses. Detectives found DNA on trash outside of Mazuka's home that confirmed the resident could be the baby's mother. Mazuka faces 3 charges, including second-degree murder.
And the police department at Hancock International Airport has a new chief. Justin Baum has been an officer with the department since its formation last year. Baum previously served in the military police, Cornell University Police, and the DeWitt Police Department. He takes after the position after the department's first chief resigned in June.
A pizza restaurant local to SU students has officially closed for good. Dorian's Pizza and Deli, which has been feeding the Syracuse community for 34 years, is located just steps off campus in the Westcott neighborhood. It has been scaling back on hours during the summer for years while students were away, but this year they never returned to their normal schedule.
One man is dead and another is in critical condition after both were struck by cars over the weekend. 20-year-old Dante Sloma was killed after a car made a left-hand turn and struck him Saturday morning. Police say Sloma was riding an illegal motorcycle when he was hit. And on Sunday night, another man was hit by a car on the Onondaga Lake Parkway in Salina. Deputies say the man was transported to the hospital and is currently in critical condition.
Fayetteville Manlius School Superintendent Craig J. Tice has announced his retirement for next school year. Dr. Tice has served as superintendent since 2015. In a statement released to parents, the district said they are starting to look for a replacement for the 2025 school year.
The Oneida County Health Department says a kitten in Sauquoit has tested positive for rabies. The kitten came in contact with 4 people who are now receiving post-exposure treatment. The Oneida Director of Health says the best way to prevent rabies is to vaccinate your pets and avoid contact with wild animals.
A former DeWitt Sears located at Shoppingtown Mall is suing the Onondaga County Industrial Development Agency. Sears hopes to stop the agency from using its eminent domain power in taking possession of the former Sears storefront. Plans to transform Shoppingtown into a residential business and entertainment center remain on hold until a Rochester State Court decides on the proposed redevelopment. The county agency claims that the transformation will assist private developers' plans to transform the property.
And a new bill is heading to Governor Kathy Hochul's desk that would make gun store owners publicize gun risks. Firearm dealers would be forced to post a sign where weapons are sold and a paragraph explaining how guns in homes increase the risk of suicide and the deaths during domestic abuse and unintentional death to children. Contact information to the Suicide Lifeline would also be given to any gun purchaser at the time of sale.
And coming up on News Live at 6, a former hip-hop star has been indicted on sex trafficking charges.
Plus, an update on the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump and the status of the investigation. We'll be right back.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
We're coming back with breaking news tonight. Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail after being federally indicted on sex trafficking and racketeering. He was arrested late Monday in Manhattan, 6 months after federal investigators raided his homes in LA and Miami. The unsealed indictment shows the 54-year-old as the head of a criminal enterprise that engaged in sex trafficking.
Over the past year, Combs has been sued for claims he subjected people to physical and sexual abuse through blackmail. Combs pleaded not guilty to his charges earlier.
And now to an update on the recent Trump assassination attempt. The suspect, Ryan Ruth, is being charged with 2 gun-related counts, possessing a firearm as a convicted felon, and with an obliterated serial number. Additional charges are possible as the investigation continues.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced that state law enforcement will conduct their own criminal investigation into the assassination attempt, in addition to the FBI. DeSantis said that the state will pursue the most serious charges, including attempted murder.
And the latest on the conflict in the Middle East, pagers used by hundreds of members of the militant group Hezbollah exploded almost simultaneously across Lebanon and Syria today. At least 9 people have been killed, including an 8-year-old girl.
Hezbollah has blamed Israel for orchestrating the attack, among thousands wounded in Iran's ambassador to Lebanon. The Israeli military has not commented on the attack.
The Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry released today new data on the number of civilians killed during an Israeli attack last April. According to the health ministry, Israeli forces killed over 1,000 Gazan health officials during an attack on a hospital in southern Gaza.
According to the new report, among the health officials killed, most were management and support staff of the hospital, as well as doctors, nurses, health associate professors, and pharmacists. 165 persons' personal data has yet to be verified by the ministry. This report follows a list that was released yesterday, totaling the number of people killed in the Gaza Strip up to August 31st.
Meta says it is banning a Russian state media organization over fears of foreign interference. The company alleges that the outlets have used deceptive tactics to amplify Russian propaganda.
Meta, which owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, says the ban will roll out over the next few days. The Kremlin has denied any allegations of interference and has denounced the ban. Facebook and Instagram are already blocked in Russia and are only accessible by VPNs.
And following last week's presidential debate and Taylor Swift's public endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris, Billie Eilish is the latest pop star to announce her support for the Harris Walls campaign.
In a video posted to Eilish's socials earlier today, she announced she will be voting for Harris Walls this November, as well as encouraged her followers to make their ways to the polls this year, saying, quote, "Vote like your life depends on it." Eilish's endorsement comes after her public endorsement of President Biden back in 2020.
Coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have all you need to know about tonight's supermoon. Don't turn that dial.
from the Citrus TV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast here. It's going to be a pretty warm one for now. We're seeing the trend of 82s, 83s, and dipping a little bit into the 70s at the end of the week. You're going to see a lot more of that continued on into next week. But for now, it's going to stay relatively warm. The trend for this week, though, is going to be that cloud cover. Now, it's going to be like how it was today, where the clouds are going to be there, but it's not going to be just completely blocking the sun. It's going to be like a little shade above it. You're still going to have that wonderful blue sunlight. It's not like it's going to be winter where the sun is just completely dark and there's nothing there. So it's actually going to be quite a pleasant cloud cover. Let's take a look at something a bit more exciting, a celestial trifecta. Now, I didn't know what this word means, but apparently it's going to begin at 10:34 p.m., and it's a supermoon, a lunar eclipse, and a harvest moon all rolled into one. It's a lunar special event, folks, and you got to be there for it tonight once it happens. It's going to end tomorrow morning. It's for one night only, so it's a pretty rare event, so I'd recommend sticking around town and taking a look at it. Like I said, it begins at 10:34, and it's going to be a pretty big thing in the sky. Look at this. That's absolutely huge. I'm personally very excited, and I just can't wait to see it with the rest of you folks, guys.
Tyler, thank you. I'm excited to get out there and look at the moon, too. Well, Instagram is making teen accounts private by default as it faces backlash against how social media affects young people's lives. Beginning Tuesday, anyone under 18 who signs up for Instagram will be placed into restrictive teen accounts. Existing accounts will be migrated over the next 60 days.
Meta requires users to be at least 13 years old to create an account, but now the company has created an AI to detect teens who lie about their age. This comes after the congressional hearing in January with the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, as he apologized to parents of children who committed suicide following online harassment.
And some of soccer's top stars are considering striking. Manchester City midfielder Rodri says players are concerned about the intense schedule. Last season, Manchester City played 62 club matches, but many players competed in more international tournaments that expanded into the summer.
Injuries have become a major concern for players as more games are being played. Recent changes to competitions like the Champions League and the World Cup will result in more games than ever. Rodri says the schedule is too much for players and they have to take care of themselves. Well, speaking of sports, what's going on in sports, Hudson?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, there's no bye week for soccer. It feels like forever since we've seen Syracuse football on the hill. That's because SU's bye week is now over. So how did the Orange stay fresh? We'll find out from head coach Fran Brown when News Live at 6 returns after this.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
The page is finally starting to turn towards Syracuse football's matchup with Stanford. Welcome to sports. I'm Hudson Ridley. It's been 10 days since the Orange took the field in a win over Georgia Tech, which means the Cuse has had plenty of time to relax and recover. However, sometimes a bye week can affect a team's rhythm. SU head coach Fran Brown spoke yesterday on how he's keeping his team sharp.
We just focused on now. It's just a daily, the process, the time management sheets, same the things that you usually do, whether you're playing someone or not. Like focused on the day, locked in on Monday, being where we are right now, being able to do that, and just keeping the guys grounded and making sure they understand that no one cares about what happened before.
Well, 2024 might be off to a fast start, but in seasons past, after the bye week, that's where SU tends to stumble. The Orange are just 1-4 after the break since 2022. In that stretch, Syracuse has been outscored 156 to just 61. The good news is, though, that visiting Stanford, is also coming off their bye week, meaning SU might have their rust matched. The Cardinal come to the Dome for a Friday night primetime showdown. The game marks Stanford's first conference clash since joining the ACC this past offseason. The undefeated Orange come in receiving votes in the AP poll, but all the way on the other side, the Cardinal only have one win, and it came over FCS California Polytechnic. Kickoff in the Dome is set for 7:30. Elsewhere on the Hill, Syracuse men's soccer looks to get off the schneid. The Orange are winless in their last 4 matchups, going 0-2-2 in that span. That's the longest stretch without a win for Syracuse since 2020. But the good news is it may get a little bit easier tonight. Canisius makes the trip over from Buffalo to take on SU tonight at 7. The Griffins are off to a similar slow start, but haven't lost in the month of September. Syracuse is undefeated against Canisius all time, racking up 9 wins and a tie. These sides have faced off in exhibitions recently, but haven't played an official match together since 2011. And the MLB season is coming to a close, and the Mets and Yankees are both currently in the playoff picture with 12 games left to go. Both teams are in action tonight. Let's start with the Mets hosting the Nationals down in Queens for Game 2 of 3. New York took Game 1 of the meeting 2-1. And then on the Yankees side of things, they face off with the Mariners all the way out in Seattle. New York currently holds the top spot in the AL by 3 games. First pitch isn't until 9:40 Eastern time, so it's going to be a late one, guys.
Hudson, I'm pretty excited about the postseason. Because I love baseball. I think it's going to be a good postseason. Who do you have winning the World Series this year?
Right now, sadly, I have the Yankees. I know that's going to make a lot of people happy here. I can't stand the Yankees, but I do think the Yankees have enough power to get over the top. You're right, though. There's nothing better than playoff baseball.
Yeah, it's a good time of year.
So my hometown is the Phillies.
Okay.
What are their shots going into the playoffs?
They're not looking great right now, if we're being honest. Right now, there are really only a couple teams jockeying at the top that are kind of in position to succeed. The Yankees, the Dodgers even at this point, but it really is only a couple horse race right now, it feels like.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. Should be a pretty good postseason. I think there's going to be a lot of competitive matchups coming up.
Sadly, my Cubs did not make it into those matchups, unfortunately, or at least they will not make it.
Yeah,
so
that is
a
too
little
bad.
bit unfortunate.
But going back to Syracuse football this weekend, obviously we're coming off of a bye week, so you think the team has been doing a lot of training, a lot of practicing. How are odds looking for Syracuse football this weekend?
It sounds like Fran Brown has everybody into shape right now. That's the good side. But the bad side is, again, you can be rusty sometimes, like I talked about a little bit earlier, and coming in with an undefeated record, a little bit of a target on their back for Friday night.
Definitely. Well, Hudson, thank you so much. That's all we have for now, but stay tuned. We will have Wake Up Weather when we come back.
Well, welcome back to News Live at 6. Your weather tomorrow is going to be pretty chilly in the morning. You know, it's going to be 61. It's a little taste of kind of what happened today. Not going to be too hot in the morning, but throughout the day it's going to warm up. It's going to be mostly sunny. It'll warm to around 80. So get ready. You don't need to be wearing anything too heavy just yet, but keep that in mind for once October comes, because boy howdy, is it going to get chilly.
So Tyler, when do you think our first real fall day is going to be?
Oh my God, you know what? It feels like it's different every year. Like some years it comes early, some years it comes later. I'm going to say first day of fall, October 7th. Lock it in now. First day of fall is going to get chilly.
October 7th, you know,
7th.
I'm kind of hoping it's a little bit sooner than that, but I guess we'll see.
I love this. I love the weather.
It's been way too hot right now.
Yeah,
I'm way too bored at heart. It feels like I said earlier, I'm working from home.
Yes, I totally agree with you guys there. Well, calling all cheesecake lovers, Kraft Heinz and the town of Lowville looks to break a world record this weekend at their 9th annual Cream Cheese Festival.
At the festival, they'll unveil their 15,000-pound, 11-foot wide cheesecake baked with over 6 tons of Philadelphia cream cheese. Admission is free for this Saturday's festival. I have to say, that sounds like both the best thing to ever happen, but also kind of scary. I mean, I love cheesecake, but I don't know if I could ever do that.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I mean, cream cheese, you know, I love cream cheese. A good bagel with cream cheese. Cream cheese on almost any food is delicious, but like that much, I don't know.
That sounds like stomach problems.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And what would their reaction be if you came in there and asked for butter on a bagel? Do you think they'd hate you, they'd kick you out, like they'd revoke your New Yorker license or something?
Honestly, yeah, because up here, you know, some of my friends go to Water Street and they just order a plain bagel with butter, and I'm like, how are you guys do that? Like, I need some flavor, you know?
Well,
what about
I get
you guys?
made fun of for my bagel order. I just get, unfortunately, a plain bagel with butter.
Kaitlin!
So I am a victim of that.
I'm not even a real New Yorker, but you're disappointing me. But back to the cheesecake. Do you guys have a favorite cheesecake flavor?
I do. It's a little underrated. Key lime cheesecake. Now I know that's kind of just key lime pie, and there's not much differentiating, but it's a little bit more creamy than a key lime pie. Key lime cheesecake is the way to go.
Sounds really good. I love key lime pie. So that sounds delicious. What about you guys?
Is it weird to say I've never had cheesecake?
A little.
You
I never made it to the Cheesecake Factory, never made it to a place that sells, I never tried cream cheese. You know what? It's always been an elusive thing. I'm not a huge cream cheese fan.
Wow.
You've never tried cream cheese?
I'm sorry, cheesecake. Cheesecake. I'm not a huge cream cheese fan, period. But because of that, I don't like cream cheese.
I was going to say, that would be a big differentiator.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, that is all the time we have for Citrus TV News Live at 6 this Tuesday. Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Lauren Holdmeyer.
And I'm Caitlin Campbell. Have a great night, Syracuse.